Okay, so parts laid out here for issue 53 of the Ferrari F40, but it pretty much has become the norm for this build. I won't be using any of these for this particular issue, so I'm just gonna, I've checked them all off, made sure they're all there, made sure there's no damaged parts, which is what I always kind of do with these part builds. So if there is any damaged parts, I can kind of get a back order going. But yeah, checked them all off, all there, not damaged. So just going to pack these away and get into the actual build for issue 53. Okay, so issue 53 itself, I've started just using like the video instructions in conjunction with the magazine, but the video instructions is what I've really been using quite a lot of. It looks absolutely terrifying, to be honest with you. Lots of pipes, lots of engine pipes going everywhere. And I've also started looking, going forward and having a look at the next issues. Next issues coming up, and the next issue, which is issue 54, obviously. You have to basically get under here and connect some of the pipes that we had when we put all this engine pipe work on. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm going to take this off and I'm going to get those pipes out that are underneath here again, because it didn't tell you that you were going to need those pipes. I mean, you probably were, and I should have known that. But yeah, I'm going to take this off and I'm going to get the pipes out that I'm going to need for issue 54, because then once this engine is mounted at the end of this issue, I can kind of leave it alone, hopefully. So yeah, the first thing is I'm going to take these off. Hopefully, if you're doing this as well, you didn't glue this on. These are going to be a pain as well, because I'm going to have to take all of these coil pipes off that took forever to put on. So take this off. If I can get it off, it was a pain in the ass to go on. Okay, so these are the pipes. In fact, the one for that has come off. I don't know where that's gone. I'm just trying to find that. So I'm going to leave this off now, kind of until I've finished issue 54, I think. Because there's a pipe here that you're going to need. That comes out, I think. In fact, there's pipes. There was one, wasn't there? Oh, there it is. I can see it. It's come off, but it was connected. So there's that one. It was kind of connected to there. So I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to need that at some point. So just, as I say, looking ahead, this one, which is probably quite difficult to see, which connects to basically the gold part, buried deep in the engine, but there's a gold part in there. Yeah, right at the, in fact you can just about see it there. So there's a little connecting part just there, you can just about see it. Okay, we'll just look, this is a thin, I think this is the thinnest pipe that connected to that, and that comes out the front of the engine and goes round. Okay, so hopefully that one's, I'm going to be able to bend that one round. This one also goes to something, but I'm going to have to kind of take it through so it pokes out from underneath. So hopefully, and then I can hopefully put these back on. And then finally, there is, just before I post them back, there's one that comes out of here. I believe that goes through there. So hopefully I can kind of just push that one through. Hopefully that one comes around, yeah. the one that fits onto the gold part, coming round the front, I might actually try and thread that through one of these ones. Try and thread it through here. Hopefully it'll stay on. It is. I've glued that on. I've glued that one on, by the way. And then hopefully this one will come up through here, and this one will come up through here. So you got your 3 pipes that were in the belly of the engine, and they're all kind of coming round. Well, they should be coming round now, hopefully. Okay. Now what I've got to do is remember where these ones went. Right, so after, as I say, doing all of that, I've got hopefully that one coming round, and that'll go to somewhere over there. This is going to come round, and this is going to come round. So hopefully they're in the right position now for when I put everything back on. So I've got one thing left to do. Just replace this and then put these pipes back on. The spark plug, I think the spark plug coils. Right. So that has been just trying to get to a position where I can start this issue. Has taken me 45 minutes to get these pipes in the position where they're going to reach where they need to go. Getting prepared really, but I think I'm there now. I'm going to have to glue that on top in a bit. Make sure I've still got all the parts on for the cylinder head bolts, because they seem to ping off every now and again, which seem okay now. Yeah, so now I'm in a position where I can start issue 53. Okay, so yeah, after getting all the prep work done, which has taken me a long time, I'm now in a position to start these parts for issue 53, the first parts of issue 53. It kind of shares in the magazine. You got to do kind of a mixture of both, because the magazine tells you about this one, which is, I think it calls it Tube G from issue 28. So that's Tube G from, but you've also got this little part from, or tube from issue 28 as well that's got to be fitted. It doesn't tell you about that in the magazine, but it does tell you about that in the video tutorial. So there's a couple of parts here we're going to have to fit, and they're both from issue 28. So the first one I'm going to fit is this kind of tube called Tube G, and it's just going onto a little mounting pin on the side of the engine. So I'm trying to find that. I'm trying to show you that if I can. It's quite difficult to see. It's kind of in there. Just identify it exactly. Yeah, so yeah, I think you can see it there. Yeah, just a little pin there. And it's just going to kind of be pushed on and then tucked behind this. So yeah, just going to try and do it in my hands actually, it's not too bad. Okay, yeah, and then that just kind of tucks in behind this component here. Okay. The one it doesn't show in the magazine but it does in the video is this little part here I've just talked about, and that kind of goes there between that component on the front of the engine into there. So you just kind of fit them out. It's quite flexible, this one, so it's not too difficult to go on. Okay, and that's what that looks like. I don't know if you can see that. It kind of sits in there. That silver component sits in there, between that silver component and there. Now the tricky part starts, because you have to identify. It actually tells you in the magazine to attach the engine first, but oh no, it doesn't. Sorry, it tells you position the pipes and cables exactly as shown, but it doesn't really give you much more information. Now the video tutorial gives you a lot of information about numbers of wires and hoses and stuff. Okay, so you got numbers of wires coming off. You've got loads of wires kind of coming off here, or hoses. So just checking the numbers off. They're going to go onto a connector on the back of the engine. You've got number 1 comes off a double there. Number 8 comes off of there. And this one, which comes out the engine on its own, is number 6. You've got one there that's got a double connector. That's number 2, and that comes off like a spider, then goes onto a spider onto another connector. The one with the right angle connector isn't used. And the one with the connector on is number 5. Underneath the engine then you've got some other connectors that are going to go on. You've got number 4, which is the big one. Number 3 is the smaller of them. And then you've got number 7 that goes onto this big one. Now mine's fallen off, so I'm going to have to kind of glue that on. Yeah, so number 7 sits there. And these are all going to fit onto a bar at the back of the engine. So now you've got to kind of get them into a position, into a specific position before you put them onto the engine to make sure they're all going to fit. So I'm just going to check that out. Okay, so you've got to position these so that it's kind of ready to go onto the connector bar. 1 and 8 are okay already. Kind of number 6 here, you can kind of, that's going to be okay as well, because that's going to kind of fit. It's just this spider one that they kind of put in position, so it's ready to go. Now number 2, which is the one with the double, you kind of bring over and you stuff that apparently. Well, there's moves, so you stuff that kind of in that area there, or you can feed it. Let's see if I can feed it through the alternator. Yeah, so I'm going to feed that one through the alternator. Right, easier I think for me. I'm going to be just feeding this through the alternator. Okay, so that's now number 2 coming out the back of the engine. Now it does show that your 90-degree one needs to be fed back down the engine and tucked in under this silver hose. So the one that's not going to be connected gets tucked in down there, and your number 6, I think this one was, and it goes back up and through. Doesn't actually go underneath that. It goes on top. But yeah, this one, so it kind of comes up here. It does show that you kind of tuck that in there, and your 90-degree one just kind of goes up here. The one that isn't going to get connected goes up here, goes in between these silver ones, and your 2 wire comes down through here. And then you end up with hopefully all the wires you need kind of at the back of the engine. You've got number 1, number 8, number 6 I think, number 2, 5, and then you've got these ones here. And I'll just say my number 7 actually isn't connected, but I'll do that in a minute. Okay, so hopefully that's the engine done. Okay, we're now in a position now we need to mount the engine onto the frame, it says. So I've got everything in the right position, hopefully. And then it's going to be the right way around. So the gearbox goes towards the front, gearbox goes towards there. So hopefully bring this across. just mounting the engines hard enough. Okay. Type S screws. I had to hunt around for some Type S screws. I think it came in 52, 3 and 52, and then I had some other ones in my box of screws. So first off, yeah, some 2 Type S screws back. And then 2 more at the front. Okay, so hopefully that's now mounted. Bring it over to mine 52, so it's this cross member part and the bumpers, bring them over, and then putting these bumpers in where it shows on the picture. Okay, so these are just going to be kind of fitted. I don't think there's any particular one, no, they're all the same. Okay, so that's how that looks. And those bumpers are fitted in to the cross member. Okay, now the video tutorial shows something that's completely, in my opinion, wrong, and then it's very confusing. It shows you in the video tutorial putting hose number 4 onto the bouncer for number 1. So anyway, I'm ignoring that part of the video tutorial. What I am going to do though is I'm going to place this on, and then I'm going to match up the hoses to the numbers because they're quite clearly marked. But it's whether it's going to be fairly easy. This goes on with 2 Type H screws, so I'm just going to put this cross member on first off, and then yeah, select it down with 2 Type H screws, and then start putting it on. As I say, the pipe's on as it shows in the video tutorial, and on the magazine. It's got a clear picture of all the numbers of the hoses, etc., and where they go. So but first off, this in with 2 Type H screws. Okay, that's in, cross member's in. So now it's a case of turning this upside down and just matching it up, I guess, with the numbers that you've got. So probably not going to be the most exciting part of the video, but let's hope I can identify the right ones. So I think we've got 1, 2, the double, 3, 4. Sorry, I'll try and do it a bit better. So you got 1, 2 is the double, 3, 4, 1, 2 is the double, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. As I say, probably not going to be the most exciting part of the video, but let's hope I can identify where they all go. So number 1. Rightly is, yeah, that's the long one. That's coming all the way around into this here, and it actually isn't reaching very well. So that's number 1. Oh, it's come out. It is number 1, but it's come out. think that's everything. That's all of those pipes on. That has been one hell of an issue. That really has been hell of an issue. Okay, I think that's it. But yeah, very, very tough issue indeed. Okay, but done now. Okay, so that was issue 53 of the Ferrari. What an absolute nightmare that was. Just getting the engine ready. Everything to do with this engine has been an absolute just hellish. So done anyway, taken me 4 hours to do. So yeah, been an absolute nightmare. Image, yeah, it's not particularly nice looking Ferrari, is it? The Ferrari 330 P3? Not particularly nice. I'm sure it's just a race one. But yes, in issue 54, we've got a wheel. Oh, but we're not actually doing anything with the wheel, as usual. We're going to be fitting some other parts. Oh yeah, I have looked at 54, I remember now. Yeah, it's fitting these side parts, which is why I had to take the top off the engine to get access to those pipes that are underneath that top part of that engine. This is it, yeah, 54. So, yeah, be doing that soon, so keep an eye out for that. That'll be coming up on the channel soon. So that was my presentation of this issue of Build a Ferrari F40 Competizione by Panini Collections and Centauro magazine. And if you'd like to see progression of this model from where it is now up to completed car, then don't forget to subscribe, and you can click the bell if you'd like to be notified any time that a video goes live on the channel, because I'm building an Ecto one and a Spitfire as well. They're both part builds, so you can check those out as well. But hey, thank you very much for watching. Hope to catch you again on the channel soon. Take care and ta-ra for now.